Hey everybody, ChristopherOdd here, and as you know, transparency on the internet is something that is very important to me. I do want to let you know that this is a sponsored video series, and what that means is that I'm actually receiving some compensation for putting these videos out, but the opinions, the thoughts, the ramblings within, they're all mine. Since money is involved, it's probably impossible not to have some bias, so take everything I say with a grain of salt and feel free to make your own opinions of the game. Enjoy. Hey everybody, ChristopherOdd here, and this is Shadowrun Hong Kong. So if you haven't heard of Shadowrun Hong Kong, it is a CRPG. Now this is my first foray into the Shadowrun world, and I'm interested to see what it's like. People have described it to me as something that would fit really well for my style. It's got some cover combat systems like XCOM, it's got some story stuff like Wasteland 2, and it's got a lot of different interesting types of characters. And what I mean by that is, like, this world is set in the future, but it's kind of a dystopian universe, but it's got like Tolkien-esque characters. So there's elves, there's orcs, there's humans, and it's like Cyberpunk. So it's got like, it probably sounds a bit crazy, and I think it probably is, but I'm excited to show you guys a little bit of Shadowrun Hong Kong. And I'm not gonna, because this is a sponsored video, I'm not gonna be really giving any type of analysis. I'm just going to let you guys make your own decision on if you like it or not. And it's been a game that people have been suggesting for me to check out anyways, and it kind of fits well with stuff that I do. So here we go. I'm gonna dive in and show you a little bit of Shadowrun Hong Kong. This right here is indicating to me that there's gonna be more stories that come out, and I think people can actually build them themselves. I'm not sure how it works, but it is something that will extend the longevity of the game, I imagine. Now, I'm going to play it on normal. Hard, it explicitly says that it's for players returning for a second playthrough or looking for a tactical challenge. Since it's my first foray into this world, I'm just going to stick with normal. We are going to have a character building screen here, and if that's not something you want to watch, totally understandable. I'm going to have some links on the screen with some timestamps, and if you want to click on those, you can jump right ahead to the gameplay. That's totally cool. If you're on mobile, I'll have the times there so you can just skip ahead on your own. Now, in the world of Shadowrun, there are no statistical differences between males and females, so I'm actually going to pick a female character. You've got 5 different races to choose from. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on all of these 5 races, but from my small amount of homework, humans, pretty much everybody was a human until this awakening, it says right here, that happened in 2012. And at that point, you kind of spawned off into different races, or evolved into different races. And some of those races are elves, dwarves, orcs, and trolls. So for me, I'm actually going to play as a dwarf. I just like how they look. I don't know why I have this affinity towards like dwarves in these type of worlds, but I just do. So we're gonna go with that. But I will show you, if you want to know, some of the bonuses for the other races. So as a human, you get +3 karma to start the game, and karma is kind of like your levels, I would say. It's the best way to describe it. It's like you get a certain amount of experience, you get karma, and then you can spend those karma points to upgrade different abilities. Okay, it's got maximum stats at the bottom. Your human is kind of like your well-rounded character that you can do kind of whatever you want with. An elf has +1 to charisma. You also see that their maximum stats are higher in quickness and charisma. So it's really hard to argue against playing anything other than a human, just because you get those bonuses. But the human does have the extra 3 karma, so I guess you could make the argument for it. Dwarves have +1 to willpower, and that would come into play when you're using like sorcery and spells and all that kind of stuff. I'm actually not going to be using the willpower part as much, but I'm mostly picking dwarves because I like how they look. They're a little bit stronger, so they're a little bit more tanky, not so susceptible to dying. The orcs are kind of interesting. So they're the fastest breeding race, and now second only to humans in population. If you take a look at the bottom, really strong stats in body and strength, but a little bit lower intelligence, a little lower charisma, understandable. And they have a +1 to body overall. And then we have trolls. So trolls are the largest metahuman race. Heavy prejudice against them has led people to assume trolls have lowered intelligence, but in reality there's no proof. But however, it says that there is no proof that they have lower intelligence, but you can see at the very bottom that their max intelligence is 6. And Intelligence in these type of things is very important to me, so I kind of struck off the trolls right away. Although they probably have some great abilities, being the fact that they're super strong, +1 to body and strength right off the bat, so these would be really good for like a tanky character. I, however, am going to go with a dwarf. Now, then we have the archetypes. This is kind of like your class, right? Street samurais are kind of like, I would describe it as like your all-around combat. You can use close combat, you can use range combat. To me, that's a little bit straightforward, so I'm not going to pick that one. You have mages, and from what I understand in this world, mages are kind of like, they're really fragile, but can deal out a ton of damage. So their key attributes are obviously willpower, the key skills are spellcasting. Deckers, they use a cyber deck to jack into the matrix. This sounds really interesting to me, but I'm not totally fluent in the world, so it's almost, to me, it's like this one's intimidating. This is for the people that are probably Shadowrun experts, so I'm not going to go with a Decker. Shamans believe their magic comes from a totem spirit, and these guys can like interact and summon different spirits and things like that to do their work for them, so that one's kind of interesting. And the Rigger, this is the one I'm actually going to choose. Riggers use specialized cyber tech to control small robot-like vehicles called drones with their minds. And the reason that this is actually most intriguing to me is because from the XCOM world, I love mechs, obviously, who doesn't? But at the same time, I also know that having more abilities or people, or in this case, drones on the battlefield gives you a huge advantage. So for combat, I think this is great, because you can also fight with your character, and then you can use the drones as well. So I am going to pick a drone or a rigger, but we also have physical adept, and this is very similar, I guess, to street samurai. As they unlock new abilities, they become homed physical machines using their magic to enhance their close combat capabilities. So this is all about just getting up and close, using magic and just ripping people apart, pretty much. You can also just totally create your own if you really want to, and I am going to take a rigger and then modify that a little bit further. Now, in terms of what I want to look like, there was one in here that I enjoyed, and it is this one right here. Very cool. You can also change these things if you unlock this, and you can change your skin tone, you can change your hairstyle. I actually found a hairstyle that looks like the picture, because if it doesn't match the picture, I think that's weird. So where is it? That one right there. Beautiful. No beard, no horns, but I like how we look there. Very cool. I like our tiny little dwarf. She's gonna be fun. Now, karma represents the experience characters earn while running the shadows and achieving goals. Karma is used to improve attributes and skills. An attribute or skill rating can be increased by spending karma equal to the next increment of that rating. Thus, improving your body from 4 to 5 requires you to spend 5 karma points. You have some karma available now to customize your character. So basically what that means is we have a rating of 3 right now for body. If I want to go to 4, it's going to cost me 4 karma points. You would see my available drop to 22. So there you go. I'm actually going to take this to 3 for now. In terms of what I want to do here, I do want to be able to control 2 drones when possible. So I'm going to go right up to here. I also think that we should have... Body of 3 is probably fine. We've got a couple of points left over. I'm not going to go too much into like spirit summoning and conjuring, obviously. But what I am going to do is unlock a new etiquette. And this is kind of interesting to me. It's something new I've never experienced. But once we get to different levels of charisma, we get to unlock different etiquette. So as an example, once I click this here, we get to choose an etiquette. It's about knowing how to behave in various social situations. The right etiquette can give you an edge in certain conversations. Choose an etiquette from the list below. So, to my understanding, even if you like max out your charisma, well, by the time you max out your charisma, you'll have a whole bunch of these etiquettes. But you could have a really strong etiquette score, but not have, or a really strong charisma score, but not have the right etiquette chosen, so you might not be able to talk your way through a certain situation. And to me, that's actually a really different way of doing it. I've never really considered that before. Most of the time, it's just the higher your charisma is, the better you're going to be in all situations. So we do have to choose an etiquette. I believe we have 2 to choose, but because we just unlocked this one, we're going to choose just 1 for now. I don't know which one is going to be best. I honestly have no idea. I'm just trying to think about this world. It's run by like these mega corporations. I imagine that corporate would be a good one to have, but you're also going to probably run into some gangs. Like they're all probably very viable options. For this first one, I am going to pick corporate just because I feel like with these mega corporations running everything, you're probably going to run into a few of those people. But I mean, I could be totally, completely wrong, and that wouldn't surprise me one bit. Now, we do have a couple of different options here, and I don't know the best way to kind of build this out. I'm almost thinking like maybe I just go more intelligence. I've already got the ability to control 2 drones. Maybe I should just develop the drone that I'm going to have out there, actually. So why don't I do that? If I go here, that'll give me, as you can see at the top, it's giving plus 2 HP, plus 1 dodge, plus 5 accuracy, and plus 1 armor. So yeah, I don't even know if I can equip 2 drones early on, so maybe going into this advanced of a drone control right off the bat could hinder me a little bit. I'm not too sure, but at the end of the day, we'll know over time. And then I'm gonna grab like just an additional cyberware, such as the hand razor cyber weapon, just so that we can use close combat if we need to. And yeah, I think we're pretty much good at that point. Maybe I would do this a little bit differently. I have to keep 1 in close combat, so maybe we grab the melee weapons instead, since we already have this built in, and at least if we have a weapon, then we can for sure use it. But I think that's going to be our character, and as you can see, this gets pretty deep. I actually really like the way that this is laid out, in the sense that you can see very clearly what's able to be unlocked, and as you unlock things from this row, the bottom ones are able to be used as well, so it's pretty clean. Although I wish it would give you a little bit more information on what specifically they could do. As an example, like Class C drones, I don't know what those are compared to Class B. I imagine Class B is better, because over here is A, and then over here is S, so very cool. Anyways, let's get going, shall we? Oh, here's the second etiquette that we have to pick. Security, gang, socialite. You know what? I'm going to pick gang. I imagine we're going to run into some lollygaggers out there. Might want to cause us some trouble. And if we're going to name our character, let's go with ChristopherOdd, street name Audie.
You have 1 new message.
Hi. It's Raymond. I hope I have the right number. Look, I know we haven't spoken in a while, but I need your help. Remember the day I took you and Duncan off the streets? I told you that the past is just a story, that if you can just accept that, your past loses all power over you. Yeah. I was wrong. I'm on my way to Hong Kong now, to finish something I should have faced a long time ago. And I need you with me. I know we're not blood, and we didn't leave things in a good place, but you and Duncan are the only real family I have. Please, if our past means anything to you, meet me in Hong Kong right away. I'll explain more when you get here. I'm begging you. I'm almost out of time.
Now, as you can imagine, this game is going to have a lot of role-playing elements. For me, I tend to take like a sarcastic approach to all my characters, just because I don't have to role-play that hard. It's not something I have to like fake. So hopefully we can do that as much as we can. We're selecting our dialogue choices and stuff. So, hard landing. Raymond Black, the old man, gave you a home once. Took you and Duncan off the gang-ridden streets of the Barrens. Sheltered, educated, slapped sense into you both until you almost resembled productive members of society. And then you took off, left it all behind. Landed behind bars for a time. Tried to start a new life after that. It's been 8 years since you've heard Raymond's voice. Until out of the blue, you got this cryptic message, a plea for help. Meet me in Hong Kong right away. And wired to your account enough Nuyen to pay for the flight and then some. Nuyen is the currency, I believe. The descent is rough. A squall comes out of nowhere, sending a solid sheet of rain punching into the suborbital transport. With a ragged shudder, the plane finally skids to a halt at the edge of the Chek-Lap-Kok tarmac. An hour and an interminable number of emotionless security checkpoints later, you hail a water taxi to Victoria Harbor. Hong Kong looms ahead, pulsing with energy. (2056). Yeah, so as you can see, you step from the churning of the water taxi to the ponderous rocking of the docks, your stomach lurching at the transition. As soon as you're clear, the captain nods once and steers the small craft back into the harbor. The man never said a word, just handed you a worn brown duffel bag when you stepped on board, filled with gear, some stiff new body armor, and a note. Better safe than sorry, smiley face. Or -D, most likely -D. Above, smog-thick clouds hang low in the sky, reflecting the lights of the city in a nauseating swirl. The wind changes direction more than once, creating a heady stew of aromas, diesel, sea salt, street food, and filth. It's all you can do to keep your in-flight meal where it belongs. Two figures stand waiting in the dim light of the pier. The first is an orc, lean with in-your-face muscles and a jaw made to break fists. The second is an elf, one hand resting casually against her hip. Raymond Black is nowhere to be seen. This is Duncan. Well, don't you look like shit? Duncan Wu, the closest thing you have to a brother. You haven't seen the man in 8 years. Still charming as ever, obviously. I like him. He's sarcastic. As you open your mouth to respond... Oh, okay, never mind. So he grins. Green's not really your color, Christine. Doesn't go with that nice new armor I got you. As you open your mouth to respond, something shifts alarmingly in your stomach, a liquid bubbling sensation. We're just gonna tough it out. Don't know what you're talking about. Must be the harbor lights messing with you. Yeah, must be. Guess you've got some of your old fortitude at least, he laughs. Considering how much synthahol we used to put down, I'd be surprised if you couldn't handle a little chop. Anyway, we gotta go find Raymond. What do you mean find Raymond? Like, I thought he would be here. Well, he never showed up. He's still got that same baritone rasp, had it since he was 12. Who developed early. Well, like, did you try him on comms? No, I just been walking around the docks shouting his name. He says it as a joke, but there's a note of concern in his voice. I've been trying him for for the last hour. There's no answer. Okay, well, you seem a little bit tense. Are you eating enough fiber? My colon's fine, thanks. Wu rubs his head. He's an old man. He's out there alone somewhere. 65 is not that old, Duncan. Of course not, but... The orc bows his head. His voice sounds far away. He's not the same, Christine. Raymond hasn't been himself in a long time. Well, how so? He's been restless. He's staying in his study inside his own head a lot, and he barely sleeps anymore. I've been worried about him, but I haven't figured out what to do about it. He looks up at you and shrugs. And I didn't have a sister to turn to. Hell, wasn't too sure you were even alive still until Raymond managed to track down your number. Now this is Carter. The woman standing beside him breaks in. We should get going, Duncan. Head back to the meeting point in case your dad shows up. Copy that, Sarge. Okay, so she's his boss, I guess? They're wearing Lone Star body armor. Looks like Duncan Wu's gone private police. Okay, so we've got a private police force named Lone Star. I guess they're both part of it, and that is his boss? Sarge? What do you mean by Sarge? The woman taps her chest with an armored finger. Carter, Seattle Lone Star. I'm Duncan's partner. Alright. And superior officer, she grins. I let him carry my coffee for me sometimes, write my parking tickets, that kind of thing. Duncan says, I figured I could use some backup, didn't know what raid got himself into, and I wasn't sure you were going to show up. It's a tossed off remark, but there's an undercurrent of resentment in it. You got something you want to say? No, shakes his head. Look, I'm glad you're here, Christine. Seriously. But I'm gonna need some time to get used to having you around again. It's been a while since I heard from you, you know what I mean? So obviously there's some time and animosity between us. Memories of sleepless nights in the lockup flash by, wondering if you'd ever see Duncan or Raymond again. Wondering if you ever even wanted to. And then, stepping out into the daylight, suddenly free, the follow to some obscure corporate restructuring, a few hundred new yen worth of apology from your former jailers, and the decision to start a new life, to leave the past behind, all of it. Until now. Look, guys, I had my reasons. Can we just leave it at that for now? Wu stares at you, his goggles reflecting the harbor lights. Sure. Scans the waterfront, frowning. Let's just find Raymond. He was supposed to meet us in the plaza on the other side of this pier. The sooner we find him, the sooner you can all have a big happy family reunion over dinner. And the sooner I can find a place to get a drink around here. Damn right. Alright. Ahead of you, Hong Kong rises serpent-like from the sea, government and megacorp coiled together, writhing in their basket of institutionalized corruption. No one can tell where the snake's body ends and its tail begins. That's what Raymond used to say. Duncan turns and starts down the pier. Carter follows. Alright, and here we go. So we've got essentially like a radar or waypoint kind of system. What do we have up here? We can inspect. So fresh construction is expanding the harbor out into the water. Corporate interests can afford new streets. And here's our little drone following us. It's pretty cool. Drone combat bonus. I think it's kind of cool that you can, like, it incorporates your actual name, because I figured it would just incorporate your street name for whatever reason. What do we have here? It's a locked gate. The guard shack at the end of the pier is dark and empty. Duncan gives the gate a push, but it doesn't budge. Huh. Well, that was open earlier. Duncan frowns. Looks pretty solid. Maybe if you bang your head against it hard enough, it'll open. Yeah, maybe. He squints into the guard shack. Strange that there's no one here, though, isn't it? Carter shrugs. Who knows? It's Hong Kong. Not exactly sure how things work around here. Come on, rookie. We can cut through the construction site. I hate it when you call me that. These two are gonna be a real treat. I wonder if there's any romantic influences happening between them. So we've got a security checkpoint. I imagine that's going to be to open this gate. The gate is locked, but the nearby control panel appears accessible. Carter pulls it open with a metallic screech that pierces your skull, sending a new wave of pain down to your churning stomach. Carter. She examines the control panel for a moment, then throws Wu a backward glance. Looks like there's another way off the docks on the other side of the gate. I think I can bypass the lock. Yeah, just let me take a crack at that. Carter steps aside to let you get at the panel. Enjoy. So because we're meeting the different, like, checks, I guess, we're able to do a few of these things. I think the first one was body, and then this one is about our intelligence and being able to hack, so that's cool. This is a civilian area, and security's light. You bypass the door circuit with ease. The gate rattles open. Pretty straightforward. Now, what do we have going on in here? She said shortcut through the construction site, so... Movement. Oh, look at this. Okay. We got some combat going on. More Cantonese, too quick to catch. The group on the dock was fishing a package out of a speedboat when you surprised them. Now the package is at the bottom of the bay, and the speedboat is disappearing into the distance. They close on you, red-faced and yelling. The light on the harbor glints off their weapons as they approach. The leader shouts something in Cantonese, but it's too fast to make out. You're rusty. It's been years since Raymond's house and the language lesson that wouldn't end. The old man never spoke anything but his native language at home. Wu speaks with authority. His Cantonese is as solid as ever. He never let it drop. You guys doing some late night fishing? The smuggler smiles. Oh yeah, we're fishing for assholes. Those probably don't taste great. Wu points at their weapons. You're gonna need some better bait. All you're gonna catch is with that is trouble. Why don't we try out our Cantonese? We're just passing through. Why don't you put the guns away? Their spokesman laughs, looks at his crew. Hey, you talk good Cantonese, baby. Real authentic. Actually, you just told me you're gonna crap a gun. Okay. Lone Star, put the guns down. Never seen a badge like that before. Either it's fake or you're some kind of security guard. He grasps his rifle. Either way, this ends the same. Oh, here we go. I think he's done talking. I would agree. Okay, turn-based combat. So you're now in turn-based combat mode. Each character on your team has an action pool. Spend these actions on movement, attacks, or using spells and items. Once your team's turn is complete, the enemy team will move and attack. Additional tutorial information is available from the reference guide, which can be accessed in the upper right corner of your PDA menu. So we also have this help menu here. As you can see, it's pretty detailed, gives you a lot of information on different mechanics, different classes, and then hacking, matrix, stuff like that. So just in terms of combat, you can target. It's very similar to like XCOM. Firing, you just click on a target to attack. Area of effect, it'll show you this little square, and you can choose to launch something into that area. You've got shield icons, so heavy, medium, and light. Coming from an XCOM world, I can't trust anything other than heavy or full cover. So that's pretty important to me. We can flank, we can heal, we have armor attributes as well. From the party members, it shows remaining health, that's this green bar. The current armor rating, which is these little shield icons. Remaining AP, which is your action points. And then in the top left, there's little buffs and debuffs. So pretty cool stuff. In Combat 2, we can eventually... Actually, I don't know. Can we do Overwatch right away? It ends your character's turn, but will use the remaining available AP to activate currently selected weapon ability for the next round. There is friendly fire. Certain spells as well as weapon abilities can hit multiple targets. This includes allies. We learned that in Wasteland 2. There's armor piercing. There's burst and full auto firing modes, very similar to Wasteland 2. And some archetypes have icons next to their backpack indicating their other abilities available. Okay. Well, I just want to take a look at Rigger here. Riggers use specialized cyber tech to control small robot-like vehicles called drones with their minds. You can jack in to access equipped drones in the drone tray. Let's see. Turning on a drone will reduce the available AP for the Rigger by 1. Follow. Drones will follow Riggers by default, but when in combat, players can set a drone to hold position or follow. There's drone repair kits. And if a Rigger gets knocked out or killed, the drone will go offline, and that makes sense because you're controlling it with your mind. Anyways, all right, so here we go. Head to the main location, keep the team alive. Well, let's see. Seeing as how I'm just gonna control my drone with my mind, I'm actually just gonna run way back here. Drone can follow me for now. Duncan, let's see, do we have any decent cover here? We've got some half cover. We got full cover over to the left. We've got full cover over to the right. Let's see. Let's throw you over here. We're gonna dash you. Looks like it does indicate if you're gonna use both of your turns with the 1 versus, let's say I wanted to go up here, how it's got the 2. So I'm gonna move her into full cover as well. And let's just do a review here of her abilities. So she's got a Power Bolt, the most basic spell every mage knows and always has ready. That's, I guess, the most basic attack. She also got Aim 1, increases the target's chance to hit by 8 to 12%. Does not stack nor affect AoE abilities, and it lasts 2 rounds. So that's actually a pretty good buff for one of our own guys. Let's see what else she has. Mana Ball, a magic explosion that pierces up to 2 armor. So this is an AoE ability. Strip Armor decreases the target's armor by 2 for 3 rounds. Shares a cooldown with other Strip Armor spells. All right. We've got Heal Wound. Heals all the damage from the most recent attack. Shares a cooldown with other Heal Wound spells. And then Armor 1. Target gains +2 armor up to the maximum armor of 10. Okay, so this actually will stack. Lasts until combat ends. Very cool. Shares a cooldown with other armor spells. Okay. Let's use aim here to improve Duncan's aim. So aim accuracy +8. Whoa, hello. Now, I don't know all of these abilities that they are tossing at us, so that worries me a bit. This guy looks like he's melee all the way. And this guy has a shotgun that he hit his own guy with, so that works for me. Now, here's how we actually control, right over here, this is how we're gonna control our drone. So I'm gonna go into control mode. So that activates our drone. And then as you can see, we've got 1 bullet, single target, does 10 damage, 99 capacity, I think that is, cap. We also have this basic self-repair protocol. It can preserve its basic systems at the cost of 1 action point. This replenishes 10 HP, so it does like a self-heal. Let's see. I guess we could just take the shot from here. It looks like our chance to hit's 99%. Pretty nice. We'll just shoot it again. All right. And we also have like a close attack, so a basic melee weapon, 1 HP damage over the weapon's base. But the whole point of this character, I think, is to just control the drone. So let's move over to Decker. Let's see, or Duncan, sorry. We've got a decent shot on the gunman. The mage is a little far away. We also have, so 1 bullet, single target, very basic. We also have aim shot, so increase our accuracy by 15. And then we have 2 attacks in 1 action, then increased chance of crit uses 5 bullets. And it looks like we have 30 bullets, so 30 capacity. I think I'm gonna go with this. He's got the shotgun. I'm honestly not too worried about him being that far back, but maybe we go for this gunman here. No, that didn't work out that well, actually. Now what we could do... Doesn't look like I can hit both of them. So maybe what I should do then is strip the armor of... Let's see. Not the mage. Let's go strip the armor of this gunman here. I obviously should have done that first. That's just me having to learn this a little bit more. We could also increase the aim of... Can we do it on this thing? Yeah, that's cool. Oh, it says immune. All right, so I guess not. I guess we can't do it. All right, we're just gonna end the turn here because I'm not gonna move in at all with Audie. Those are big misses. Hello. Okay, that guy needs to go down for sure. What we could do is we could... Oh, this is on... We could use this every turn. I think I'm going to strip his armor as well. And with Duncan... Since our chance to hit him is so high, I'm going to go and take it. It's going to increase our chance of critical as well. That's a lot of damage, actually. See if we can finish him off. Not quite. Really, 272s miss. This is like XCOM. My god. There we go. Man down. Alright, let's end again. We're in full cover over there, so I fully expect them not to hit. They just pulled an us move there where... Oh, that's nice for them. She should have totally done the buff beforehand. It does last a couple of turns, I think, but still. Let's see. Does he still have armor stripped? Yes. And let's buff his aim again. And then Duncan. Actually, you know what? We could just take the shot with her on the mage. I'll take it. Small chance to hit, but it actually did land. And let's move our drone in a little bit closer. 83, let's go. Nice shot. And you know what? Let's just take as much of a guaranteed hit as we can. Almost dead. You can't quite tell how much health is left. It's just this bar, whereas the ones above are actually the armor rating. So he just healed himself. She's buffing her aim, but she's gonna be exposing herself pretty heavily. 77 I gotta feel good about. There we go. And she's in the open, so pretty exposed. One thing I wouldn't mind trying is some of these other items here, like a grenade. Can we actually take out... I wonder if we can take out cover with a grenade. Okay, it doesn't look like it. Let's just toss a couple at him here. That's not gonna work. Alright, let's strip his armor again. I think it was gonna... Oh, beautiful. I didn't even know that did damage. You think those guys are triad? Not sure, I didn't recognize the tattoos. Okay. Well, interesting. I like that. That's cool. I feel like the combat's a little bit like weightless in a sense. Like it doesn't have that kind of oomph when you damage somebody. But there are a ton of different abilities and some different synergies that we can explore. So, yeah. We'll take a break here. When we come back, we'll probably investigate, I guess, the area where the package dropped from the boat. And then we'll see where that leads us, and we'll pick up from there. Thanks, guys, for watching. I really appreciate it. I do ask at the beginning of every series, if you guys like the video, please show your support at the bottom. And thank you very much for watching. We'll certainly see you soon. Take care, guys. Bye.